sports consultant and mentor. This week, we are recording live from Tampa, Florida. I'll get into detail, maybe, about what's happening. A lot of good things, though. A lot of big things. So today's conversation is basically what the conversation is about. Three things that will keep you failing. So obviously, track and field for a lot of athletes is over. A lot of athletes. This is from the college level down to the youth level. And the reality of it is there are ways that you could have prevented your season ending so soon, for high school and college. Okay, so the first thing, most people would guess it's like training based or whatever, but it's not. It's honestly your food. Your food choices will be the demise of your success, because many athletes will, perform with sugar in their system, with nothing in their system. This past weekend, I had an athlete that was just all over the place. Like, she wasn't even jumping the way she normally does. She jumped 3 feet less than she normally does. It was just awkward. Even the form she had was off. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, hey, did you eat today, this morning? And she was like, no. Wow. Right? You need to have not just fuel and energy for your body. You need to actually have energy for your cells that operate. Your brain needs to be fed. There are so many things that need to go inside of your body, to help you perform on all cylinders. If you're not eating correctly, then you're putting yourself in a very, very bad place. And I have some athletes that are just continuously getting sick, and it's coming down to their food. Now, there are so many things. I'm pretty sure you're thinking to yourself, what should I be eating? And the reality is there are many things you should be eating. And I'd rather, instead of me telling you what you should eat, I'd rather you just hear this conversation and then go educate yourself on what food does to your body. Educate yourself on, if I have chips and pancakes before a track meet, what happens to my performance? What happens to my body, right? Versus eating spinach, peanut butter and jelly and a bagel. Like, just get an understanding of what happens to your body and why it's important to have certain types of carbs versus other certain types of carbs. So just let that be a thing, okay? The second thing is going to be your fear of adversity. I had another athlete this weekend. I understand her perspective 100%. Basically, because athletes just finished high school season, they're welcome to join my club team, and they just started competing like immediately. As in, they joined on Monday and competed on this past weekend. The only time I allowed that to happen is now, because they're already in track shape. They've already been training for months on end. So if I just throw them into an event that they've been doing all season, they'll be fine. But basically, she just was intimidated. And like, this meet was her biggest meet that she had been to. And it was a regular, youth meet for us. But the part that I really wanted to bring to attention, I feel like I'm lagging a little bit. Either way, I think we're back. Wanted to bring back to attention is, it's still lagging. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I can see it. Anyway, the show must go on. So basically, just all these emotions came up, and I was thinking to her, like, LEAP stands for lead, elevate, achieve, and prevail. And she was dealing with adversity, right? And we got to achieve through this piece and elevate your standards, right? But the part that made me enroll into her process of not competing was the fear she had. Then it led into, well, I don't want to fall and get hurt. So now I'm like, okay, great. I have to assess this process of, if she falls and does get hurt, the question is going to be, had she practiced with us? And the answer is no. So I was like, I got to cut it, you know? But what I did say to her was, by me saying it's okay, you don't have to compete today, it then enables her to have an out whenever she gets in this type of trigger. And the reality is, since I did that, it's now a possibility. But I explained to her, I said, you know what? This is what I'm opening the door of, and that's not going to happen. So just to protect that whole piece, I said to her, we're going to have to put you on the practice squad until you're prepared to do all of the events, not just one and not the other. Because she did do long jump, but not the other event. So it's like, we got to be consistent. But again, I have to be the bigger person and now know that this cop out, I guess, is the word that I want to use, but the phrase, but it wasn't. She just was in a space, and I have to respect it, and I have to meet her where she is. I think this is the part where it's like, some people you can kind of push them to do things, some you can't. And because I'm still new and building that rapport with her, I have to kind of gauge and see where I'm at with her. But I'll come back and see. But what I will say is, you know, your willingness and unwillingness to perform under all types of chaos is going to be huge. So make sure that when you are in a place of chaos, invite it and more. Be willing to, you know, practice with someone else's shoes on. Just go, right? Be willing to just put yourself in environments that are very foreign to you and compete through it anyway, because it is what it is. Life is going to life regardless, right? Perform to your best abilities. And whenever that does happen in your life on and off the track, it's going to be easier for you because you're going to know that it is what it is, right? And the last thing is going to be basically just bad attitude. If you have a bad attitude, you will forever fail. If you're a person that you long jump and you have a bad jump, you put your head down. That head being down means you just lost the rest of your competition. You might have between 3 to 4 to 6 jumps. And if your head is down, you've already lost. All right. So it's very important that you keep your attitude in a space where it's always either neutral or positive. Neutral meaning, we'll see what happens. I got more jumps. Great. Right. Positive, I only need 1 jump. I don't care how many times I take this attempt, I'm going to put this jump together. Having that base is going to really help you. Anything less than that is going to really take away and eat away your success, and it's not going to be fun. And it's going to just make your season that much longer. So if you found yourself in one of those 3 situations, or even all 3, there's a reason why you're not competing right now, right? And it's very important that you start with understanding how to keep those 3 level to where you're always moving forward, accepting, and having fun, because that's really important. So if you do those, you'll be removing yourself away from failing and moving into winning, being a winner, and always winning in something. And it's a lot more fun.